MLP's been going strong for 5 going on 6 seasons by now, and it makes me wonder what other directions could they go with this series. How long can this series continue telling stories and what can keep it fresh? Perhaps the answer is to create a spin-off series and give ourselves a brand new cast and send them in a brand new direction. What worked for Star Trek The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and to some limited extent Star Trek Enterprise, could very well work for My Little Pony. Here are some ideas for spin-off series that could keep us in the world of Equestria without having the main characters revolve around the main sets. The first idea would be to take established characters and put them into another series. One idea could use the CMC, only instead of having them be kids who just recently got their cutie marks, have them be full-grown adults. Do a major 5 or 10 or more year time skip and put the main sets in the background and have the CMC, Diamond Tiara, Silver Spoon, Pipsqueak, and other now adult youngsters go on various adventures. Then all you have to do is try to tie the canon of the future into the canon of the past as the past continues to move forward slowly as it steadily catches up with the future timeline, without messing things up too much, as was the case in some of the Star Wars book series. Do this more like the way you did Young Justice or Avatar The Last Airbender when it transitioned over to Korra. You would have a major time skip with a gap between the past and the present, but that gap would be filled with stories that made sense, not filled with stories that ignored continuity. Equestria Girls could be a good television series. It can only do so well as movies. It's about time it moves on to television in an episode every week format as opposed to a movie every year format. You get a lot more stories to tell and a lot more chances to flush out the characters and make them interesting. When you do something once a year, you barely get to play in that world. When you do something every day, you get a lot more chances to make the characters interesting. Imagine what My Little Pony would be like if we only watched the season intro episodes and the season finale episodes and never saw any of the middle stuff. That's what Equestria Girls is suffering through. Next idea, have a story about the background main sets. You know, the Derpy, Lyra Bonbon, Dr. Hobbs, Vinyl Stractatibia. Those are the popular fan favorites and the ones that the fans would most want to see spun off into their own series. In fact, it's the answer that I get most frequently when I ask, what would you like to see as a spin-off? Next idea would be to do a spin-off based on Moondancer, Twinkle Hearts, Lemon Shine, Minuet, and Lyra. Spin off those characters into their own series and have it set in Canterlot most of the time. You could even have more frequent appearances from Luna and Celestia. Next idea, give Starlight Glimmer her own series. Have her go back to the Equalist village and continue being friends with those characters and put them on their own little adventures. She can check in on Ponyville and Twilight occasionally. Next idea, a Daring Do series. Give us ponies in an adventure treasure hunting world exploring, history exploring type of series with all kinds of traps and treasure hunting villains and all kinds of wacky magical artifacts that cause all kinds of problems. Next idea, do a series set in Manhattan. Have it star Babseed and have her and her friends go on all kinds of big city adventures. Take the setting out of the small town and put it in the major city, and you get a completely different set of stories that you could tell in an already familiar surrounding. Next idea would be to do multiverse or a series of shorts. If you can't do a full series, a series of shorts would be very enjoyable. But the idea of doing a multiverse series would also be fun. The season 5 finale certainly gave us plenty of multiverse ideas, and we could continue on any of those worlds or any number of other worlds that we have yet to explore and study a whole collection of what-if scenarios. Next idea, even though this doesn't work for Star Wars and Star Trek, it could potentially work for My Little Pony if they kept their continuity solid, and that is to do prequels. Do a series that involves Luna, Celestia, and Starswirl the Bearded, and have them go on various adventures, learning from each other, and see the early history of the early days. And my final idea is to do something completely original. Don't borrow from anything that's pre-established and do brand new creations within the world. But you're still in a familiar setting that you can play around with, but you're giving people characters and settings and other things that they've got no expectations for, and you can make them fall in love with something brand new and completely different, and with no connection whatsoever from the old series, except for the fact that they're set on the same planet somehow. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Thank you for watching, and good night.